Yeah, for my see the shares most definitely I know it's gonna be something great. But anyway, what that into this? Now, for all who've been asking me about this BBW, the budget boost wallet. Listen to this.
Well, let's start right there. BBW, right? What is the budget boost wallet, and what are its primary objectives?
Okay, so in December last year, just a few weeks ago, the Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, during his budget address, outlined several initiatives. But before he did that, he really gave, I think, the nation a fulsome understanding of the cost of living as it stands right now, not just here in St. Kitts and Nevis, but globally, right? And how global inflation has been really detrimental to all the countries of the world. Whether they're rich countries or seen as least developed countries, it's affecting everyone, right? Shipping costs, cost of food is going up, etc. And after outlining that, he shared some initiatives, and one of the initiatives to help to alleviate or reduce the burden on households especially was this budget boost wallet initiative. It's a temporary initiative. It's a short-term program for 6 months, from January to this year to June of this year, 6 months, where when I say we, the government of St. Kitts and Nevis is seeking to, as I say, reduce the burden on persons and help them to deal with some essential things. Food, utilities, specifically electricity and water, we all need that, and housing. And housing in the sense of mortgage. Persons have mortgages with the NHC or also with the Nevis version of NHC. Their own housing corporation over there, NHLDC, right? And so the Budget Boost wallet is a digital wallet, and over the next 6 months, if you earn 5,000 EC or less in your gross earnings per month, then that wallet, you can get a wallet, digital wallet, Budget Boost wallet, which will have 250 EC added to it each month, right? And the goal there is again to target food, so groceries, household goods, at select businesses, and of course there's a wide gamut of businesses from the large supermarkets right down to your village shops. All of them can be a part of the program. And then water services on both St. Kitts and Nevis, the electricity companies on both St. Kitts and Nevis, Skelec and Nevlec, and as I mentioned, the National Housing Corporation here on St. Kitts, as well as the one on Nevis.
So the core essentials.
Yeah. The essential things that we feel that would help to, the households to deal with what we here in St. Kitts and Nevis have not caused. We have not caused inflation, but we suffer from it more than anything else, because we do import quite a bit of what we need. Right?
So on that note, let me ask Azilla this question. Who is eligible to participate in this program, and how are the participants selected?
Sure. As Cabinet Secretary indicated, it is for individuals who earn $5,000 or less. So $5,000 and anything less in any given month from your gross earnings. How that is determined, we have a collaboration with Social Security, who will send that notification to us. It's also extended to unemployed persons, of course, legal working age and above. Unemployed persons, because of course they are earning less. Unfortunately, at this time, it is not available to pensioners of any kind, government or social security pensioners, as they're also enveloped in other social programs. But of course, if there's any vulnerability or gap for them, they're able to reach out to the Ministry of Social Development and Gender Affairs to be able to assess for additional services. And so that's just the eligibility. You have to be earning less. You have to be here in St. Kitts and Nevis. All right, because the registered vendor, it can only be used at the approved vendors.
Right.
So it's not something that you can take to do otherwise. Those are some of the systems that are put in place to make sure there's no fraud or misuse of the funds.
Sir, Dr. Nettle, let's talk about the inspiration. Where this inspiration came from for this initiative, BBW.
Well, maybe, I don't know, maybe that question needs to go to the Prime Minister. But I don't want to speak out of turn for him per se. But I believe as a government, we understand the pressures, the financial pressures that are out there, and again, that are not caused by us here in St. Kitts and Nevis, right? We are part of a global community, and we try to get the citizenry to sort of understand and appreciate that.
Right.
That even though a war is happening, or conflict is happening in Ukraine, that has a direct impact on St. Kitts and Nevis. For example, Ukraine is the world's leader in grain. You need grain to get flour, to get cornmeal, to get a lot of staple things that we use that other persons import from Ukraine as their products to to make additional products to pass on to us. It's a cycle, and we're all part of this global community. Of course.
Right.
So when something happens, although it seems very far away from us, it impacts us, and often in a negative way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We don't produce oil. There are many vehicles on the road. And you need to get from point A to point B. Your gas price has gone up. I mean, the government has put some stuff in place for that and so on. So it's just to understand that the government appreciates what is happening and is looking at how can we then help our people to navigate these waters right now, and at the same time still provide all the necessary services that we need to, because people want to go to the hospital and they want to get good service, they want to get good health care. People going to school, we want to make sure that the school meals program is still going. It's a whole gamut of things, right? And so we just want persons to appreciate that the government is doing all it can, and like I said, this is just a temporary measure where we are anticipating that over the next 6 months that the global inflation will sort of lessen. It's already tampering down a little bit, and that our work here, our economy here will start to continue to grow, actually, because it's been growing, but grow a little bit more as well, so that there's more finances and so on flowing in the economy, and that then we won't have to kind of give this financial assistance.
So more or less like a buffer to get you through the rough time.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
That's very practical. And talking about practical, let me bounce back over to Azilla. Let's look at the practical aspect of the BBW in terms of the beneficiaries.
Okay, so there is publications around the registration site. Now, there's a lot of concern for persons about having to register. What we give assurance to persons is if you have already been issued a digital wallet associated with a form of government assistance such as budget boost or school uniform assistance, you do not have to register. We already have your information, and you already been issued a wallet tied to a government assistance. Secondly, if you've applied for any government assistance or program such as LIFT or Aspire, again, we have your information on file. That will be shared so that a wallet can be created for you. And then once Social Security verifies that you are earning at or below 5,000, that wallet will be loaded. So there is no rush to be first in line to register. We are also aware that the link was released to the public somehow before it became live. That information does not transfer. So if you happen to have signed up before 3:30 on Saturday, when the link went live, you will have to do so. However, you do not have to rush to do so. If you already have a wallet, or you've applied for public assistance or a government program such as Aspire, we have that information. We will forward that. What we ask, however, if you've had any edits, email address and telephone numbers are critical modes of communication for state agencies. If you've had any changes to these, then there are numbers for the Ministry of Social Development and Gender Affairs, which has been publicized as the focal point for queries or concerns. 467-1370 or 662-5993. Please understand, however, these are not multi-line numbers. It's a one central line, and we're trying to offer excellent customer service. So if you ring, we will call you back. But if you have to call a couple of times, please don't get upset. It's a single line. We've also activated the Budget Boost Wallet email address, which is bbwallet@gov.kn. So if you have a question and you can send it via email, send it. We also have staff that will be responding to you. So as I stated, there is this site out now, budgetboostwallet.jad.cash, for persons to register. However, if you've been issued a wallet tied to a government program such as back to school or school uniform, you do not have to register. If we have your information already because you've made an application to Lyft or you've placed an application related to Aspire, we will forward that information on. If there's any edits, reach out to us quickly. We will edit and then make that available. Because again, we acknowledge that the state has quite a lot of information on persons. We're in the business of streamlining processes and procedures to make them seamless. By now, the government should be able at one day say they're doing this and in 2 days it happens, because the more information we have on you, the more seamless these things. And please trust that we are not receiving your money details from Social Security. All they're indicating is whether or not by name and Social Security you earn less. They handle your earnings. We do not see that information. We only see your name on a list to say you can be paid the benefit. Your information that we share with JAD, all of that at the end of any program is archived, so they are not selling your information to any third-party body or using it for any nefarious matters. They are duly registered in the Federation, governed by all of our laws, including the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, as they do the digital wallet program.
Now, let me ask this. Someone is listening. They're going to be patient.
Yes.
However, they're not in the system. And they realize, well, the time has passed and I have not received my benefits, if I can put it that way.
Sure.
What should they do now?
Right. So if you're not in that category that I indicated, previously issued a wallet or made an application to a program, most like unemployed or self-employed persons, then yes, go to the website and register. All right. So the payments will be made on the last working day of every month. And you have until the day before to sign up for the program. All right. So by the 30th, and as you go down the other dates in the months, you can have an opportunity to register up until that 12 midnight on the 11:59:00 on the day before, and your name will be added to the list to be paid the following day.
Will you be reimbursed from the month before?
No, there is no back pay. There's no thing. So we encourage persons to, I understand, having done this a couple of times with registration, there's this fear that if I'm not in the line, I'm not going to get. Again, call the numbers. We're able to indicate to you, yes, we have your information. We're actually putting in place a system whereby we will email the persons that we have information to say, yes, we have sufficient information for you to be issued the Boost wallet. JAD will also be emailing persons to let them know when their JAD wallet is, when their Boost wallet is created. So if you have settings on your email address that restricts addresses, please look in your junk mail. Gmail has promotions, social, whatever folder other than inbox. Check it regularly. Check it regularly, and as always, make a call, send an email, and we'll be able to help confirm that we have information to establish the account, the wallet for you.
Dr. Nato, how many people are projected to benefit from the BBW initiative?
Yes, so our good friends at Social Security have indicated over 22,000 persons would qualify, fall in that bracket, 5,000 or less. And so at minimum, it's 22,000 persons here in St. Kitts and Nevis that can benefit. And if we know the population of St. Kitts and Nevis, which is about 55,000, that's almost half of the population.
Yeah. Let me stick with you. Is there a cap on the number of participants?
No, there's not a cap, because we understand that you may have persons who, again, are unemployed, and maybe for some reason Social Security hasn't captured them, and so they may come forward. We have persons who may just get a job, right? Maybe you just got a job January 4th, just starting a job, and we are including those persons once you've made at least one Social Security contribution week, right? So that means you've worked for at least a week, thereabouts.
So you're down
right?
to the bare minimum.
Right. I mean, you might have some people who are self-employed as well, who, even though they have a business, their earnings are not above 5,000. We want to capture all of those persons as well. So it's about 22,000. It may bump up a little bit here and there. And I mean, if you're earning 5,000 now, and for some reason, in April you get a promotion, then we'll have to reevaluate your status then, and you may come off of the program, but now you're in a much better position, and so on, and somebody else may be able to get that boost that you had gotten, right? So the numbers may ebb and flow, but as I said, around 22,000 persons will benefit.
Can we talk a bit about JAD?
Sure.
You may mention you can answer that question.
Sure.
What's the role for JAD in this program, and talk a bit about the collaboration? How did that manifested?
Right. I think persons. Okay. Let me start by saying this, that I think sometimes we try to when we come on the programs, tend to talk like we don't exist in a space where we see social media. So I won't pretend that I don't see social media. And in the social media, I see that there were some negative comments regarding JAD and people kind of questioning JAD. And JAD has been around for a long time. And they're a locally owned company, a local person owns it, and they provide a lot of digital and services and so forth. Persons buy tickets for fets and stuff from JAD all the time. And so I was a little taken aback by that. But even more so because, and P.S. Clark can speak to this, that they have been partnering with the government on a number of programs, social assistance programs and other programs as well. So it's a little strange that there's some negative feedback, and they're again governed by all the laws and everything. So it was easy for us to collaborate with them because we have a long-standing relationship with them, with other initiatives that have worked out excellent for us. They help a lot in terms of us even archiving and having databases, which we didn't have before, so that we could even serve people better and more efficiently as well. So it was easy for us to partner with JAD. They have an excellent platform and a very secure platform for us to use. And so we decided to go with them as a service provider, as opposed to going and source somebody overseas, those kind of things, when we have the local expertise here.
And plus, as you mentioned, you have history. So you know what they can do.
And it's a good history. And we put this together in a very, very short time, and they continue to help us. They're on board. They reached out to a lot of the supermarkets, the small shops. They're on board to assist the small shop persons, owners, especially if they have any issues, because everything can be done on their phone, on your phone, right? And so they already told us they'll be going out to the shops. Any assistance they need, they're serving also as a point that persons can also call, so they don't just bombard P.S. Clark's offices, but they can also call JAD, ask any questions they need to. And I mean, from what they've told me just over on Sunday, I spoke to them. There are like 5,000 people have already signed up to JAD. So it means that it's something that's easy to do, and that the platform that they've created is something that is user friendly. I mean, we all know, we just came off of the Christmas season. Everybody was out there shopping online, putting out the information to entities that they have no idea. You could actually drive and go to JAD's office. You can't drive and go to the Amazon office or the Shein office. So we hope that people will understand and embrace our local companies that are partnering with the government too. Again, because we're all in this community, all of us suffering from this inflation.
Yes.
So we're all working together. Public sector partnerships are essential. And so we're happy that Jad is on board with us.
If I can add one thing in support. The social assistance programs have always had a particular stigma attached to them because there's a particular way they've always been issued. You know, you have to go for your voucher, you have to stand, and it's different from what the normal person would, any other person will have. What JAD provides is that universal access. All right, we have, the Prime Minister has given us a directive to be able to transform the way we provide services to the general public. So yes, we've had conversations with the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank about Dcash. However, their platform had to be taken offline for development purposes. So we've had these conversations, we've been in conversations with National Bank about a card that persons can access. But what the digital wallet does, it makes us a cashless community so that persons can have that added security. I'm a single mother. I don't walk around with cash because persons sometimes think like I'm walking around with all the public assistance money in my purse. I do not. Not even my money I have in my purse. And so that cashless system, having my bank cards, having the JAD Cash wallet, makes it available to me. Secondly, the relationship with businesses. He already has that platform established with some of the major businesses, and as Cabinet Secretary indicated, he's going out now and expanding to the mom and pop shops in the community so that persons that benefit can really be multiplied across all sectors. So we introduced, when we worked with him for the first time on the Back to School initiative, it was excellent. A lot of persons already have JAD Cash wallets and therefore were able to do so. And so we do want to tell persons that it's tried and true. And then why not just pay you to your account? Because that data, government policies and programs work off of data. When you give it to when we pay it to you directly, we don't know what you're doing with it. And so we don't know what next policy, program or activity to implement off of that data. Now we'll be able to see the predominance of shopping, public utilities, etc., to be able to then construct some other or revise some existing or create some new programs for that. And that's what we use for Back to School. We're able to collaborate for the list of imported goods that are school goods because people don't think fully of what it was required to send a child to school. And so all of those are within those to have those edits made to government policies so that persons can really feel the benefit on the end.
What would you say to those individuals who are thinking, man, just give me the money and I can do whatever I want with it? What do you say to those individuals?
Yes, I have a brother just like that too. I don't know if he's listening. That is asking that same thing. That says a gift is something you don't put conditions on. But I think in social protection, it is a shared relationship. The state has a responsibility, but individuals also have a responsibility. And it is in that shared space that betterment and advancement occurs. So when the state provides you an assistance based on either individual or external shocks, it is a responsibility for us to then be able to, at minimum, mine data to be able to transform. All right, we are not in the vein of, though this is a short-term benefit, its impact on the economy, on the individual, and on policies and programs is boundless. Right. And therefore, we need to have that, because we will tell you, from PAP, when it was paid to individual accounts, we can account for the impact. How many persons paid off their mortgages? How many persons paid off their utilities? It now has to be a personal interview as opposed to a record that shows it. And again, these records do not show your name. It just shows sex, location, and so we can say X amount of men, women did what with it. What we're not going to see your purchase receipt, so we don't know what you're spending on. Right. But it gives us a good sense to see, okay, with this funds, more persons were able to supplement for food. So what should we see on the end? Our health indicators should be improving. Obesity, hypertension. If your doctor say you should be trying a bread-free diet, but you don't know, find the extra $20 to buy pizza or flatbread. Government is giving you now for 6 months so that you can try that, so your personal health indicators go down, because we want you to live a long and prosperous life. We have a saying in the ministry, we want to make St. Kitts and Nevis the best place to grow up and to grow old in, and all of these things tie into that. So we know for you'll want it in your account so you could do what's best, what you think is best, but the state also has its own indicators to account for, and that's the shared responsibility we're asking for you to join in.
Thank you so much, Peter.